We are live. Welcome, everybody. Great to have you here. I am so excited to share with you today. What I'm about to share revolutionized my life. If I didn't learn what I learned, I'm going to tell you the entire story, how it came to be and how I implemented it and how my clients have. If I didn't have a life-changing meeting, I wouldn't be here today. I'm not talking about I wouldn't be alive. This isn't that type of event. It changed my perspective. It opened up my awareness to the possibilities of things I was missing out on previously. All right. So I have an outline and a template on things I'm going to cover. The template for the scorecard I'm going to talk about. If you share this event, I will get a notification and I will share that with you. Does that sound cool? All right. So let me know where you're watching this from. In the chat, say I'm watching it from Kansas City. We're the Super Bowl champions. That's where I'm watching it from. I'm watching it. That's where I am here in Kansas City. So let us know where you're watching this. If you want the template with the scorecard that I'm going to talk about, share the event and I'll get a notification. All right, let's rock. You guys ready to rock? Give me a thumbs up, heart, clap. If you're ready to get started, okay? This is for you if you have a new business or established business. If you have a new business, this is such a critical part of you taking your business to places you never thought imagined. Because you know what? You're missing out on sales right underneath your nose. And for those who have established businesses, who have a client base, you have a gold mine right underneath you. But you're missing out because your perspective is off. And this is not to put you down. I was there too. Your perspective is off because you're missing out on those opportunities right in front of you. All right. So the meeting that changed my life forevermore. As I said, if I didn't have this meeting, I wouldn't be here today. And again, to repeat, it wasn't that I wouldn't be alive today. I just wouldn't be in the place. I wouldn't have the opportunities in front of me because my perspective would be off, much like most other people. And let me get into this, okay? And I'll give you the details. So before starting my business, I was doing well in sales. And I was always looking for ways to maximize and take my sales to the next level. So I could do the least amount of activities, the best activities, the tactics to reach the right people and onboard them as clients. Instead of just massive action, hoping, I hate this analogy, but I used to hear this all the time. It's a numbers game. You throw a bunch of spaghetti against the wall and see what will stick. I hate that analogy, and I don't like doing business. And back then when I was a salesperson, I didn't like that whole thought. Oh, it's just a numbers game. I'm just going to throw. People aren't spaghetti. You're not throwing them against the wall to see what will stick. Okay. All right. So as I was sitting in my car, I was about to meet with my mentor in this life-changing meeting. I would meet with him monthly back then. His name is Dick. And I was just thinking, okay, what can I change? How can I do things differently? How can I be more strategic? So I got out of my car and I walked into Dick's office. We sat down, and over the next elongated session, we broke down the foundation for what I'm going to share with you today. Because of this meeting, I was able to take my sales to the next level, reducing my cold outreach, increasing my sales. What I'm about to share with you, it increased our sales over $3 million in 12 months. You guys up? Give me a thumbs up if you're ready to increase sales $3 million in 3 months. You guys tracking with me? Jim Rogers, great to see you, man. From Kansas City, Super Bowl champions. So what I'm about to share with you will help you. I want you to listen to this before I get to my next point. It's the little things that make a big difference. And if your perspective is off, or you think, oh man, Chaz, that's common sense. You know what? Most things in business, in sales, and marketing are common sense. But we don't have the right intention behind the action. And the most important thing in life in general, but in sales, in marketing, is your intention. If you go with the intention to serve, not sell, you will attract and not repel. Maybe I should write a Dr. Seuss book. Okay. So in this meeting with Dick, I was going through these different things, and we looked at things from a three-dimensional perspective. The tactics, that's the activities you do. We're looking at the strategy. We're looking at our perspective, our mindset, and we saw some huge gaps. And by the way, REAP, REAP, backs this up. 75% of businesses, B2B businesses, miss out on sales right in front of their nose. 40 to 90%, B2B businesses miss out on increasing sales 40 to 90%. That's right. 40 to 90%, they miss out on increasing their sales because they don't have a formalized, proven process to engage with their clients. They miss out on referrals. They miss out on upsells. They miss out on cross sells. And just so you know, new business with few clients, this is for you. Established business with many clients, gold mine right underneath your feet. Real quick, I'm writing a book. It will be out early April. It's called Creating a Winning Sales Culture to Double Sales. Subtitle is 7 Fatal Flaws, Leadership Flaws that Restrict Growth. If you are a founder or a CEO and want a copy of my book, email me at chazhorn@chazhorn.com. Just my first name, last name at first name, last name, chazhorn@chazhorn.com. Put book in the subject line. Okay. So we looked at the sales process, everything from three-dimensional perspective. And I walked out of that meeting and I changed my approach. Before this meeting and before I changed my approach, in the business the company I was working for, we had $200,000. That was the record for increase in sales with our current clients, upsells, cross sells. After this meeting and implementing what I learned, over $3 million increase in sales. This is over a 12-month period. 200,000, 12-month period, over 3 million in a 12-month period. You guys ready for a $3 million increase in sales? Okay. I'm not saying, obviously we had some established customer base, and that's very important to have that type of gain, but you can still that was a 1,500% increase in sales just by implementing what I'm about to talk about here. Okay. Again, 75% of B2B businesses miss out on these opportunities. And I got these, again, stats from REAP, R-E-A-P. All right. So common challenges with business is we focus on getting that new client in, onboarding them, customer, whatever you prefer to call them. And you spend the activity, the strategy, the marketing, tons of time. You get them onboarded as a new client. Yay! Now what? What happens, and again, back to the statistics, is you onboard them and there's not a formalized, proven process to engage with your customers and clients on a deeper level. You need to be able to have the difficult conversations with them so you can get positive feedback and negative feedback. When you go deeper below the surface with your clients, you'll create raving fans who will refer business your way, and you'll also uncover needs they have, and so you can serve them in additional ways. What I did with one of my clients with this is we created a scorecard. This is the core of what we do. And they've been around, they've been in business for a while. And I was asking, okay, what are you doing with all these clients that you have? And they said, well, we reach out and, hey, we're providing this service now. And how you doing? I'm just touching base. By the way, touching base is like fingernails on a chalkboard. And I'm not talking a whiteboard. I'm talking about a blackboard. If I may be dating myself. Stop touching base. Stop following up. That repels your clients, or it doesn't open up a deep and meaningful conversation. It's akin to walking into a retail store and someone comes up to you, the sales clerk, and says, what? May I help you? And you say what? Just looking, because you don't want to be sold. Stop meeting or communicating with your clients, your customers in such a way that this repels them. Sales with intention changes everything. When you go with the intention to serve, not sell, it will change what you say. Most importantly, how you say it. This is the foundation. If your intention is off, your customers and clients will be able to tell. I can't tell you how many businesses I've talked to, and I've talked to thousands and thousands of businesses, founders, CEOs, and the salespeople, marketing people. Their follow-up process is, hey, how you doing? What's new? How can I help you? Just touching base. Hey, did you know we're doing X, Y, and Z? And it just, everybody does that. You need to differentiate yourself from everyone else. So with my one client, we looked at their customer base, and they were getting a few sales, new sales from just by reaching out, touching base and whatnot. But it was few and far between. When we incorporated the scorecard with the intention to serve, not sell, they exploded their sales. They were doing about $480,000 a month. Within 8 months, they were up to about $870,000 a month. Nice, right? This is what they did. So think intention, go with the right intention, go with understanding, wanting to understand them. Yes, listening is very important in sales, but most importantly is understanding them. Okay. So you go with the intention to serve. I want to drill down on this because it's so important. Please listen to me, because this is about listening and understanding. I want you to understand me. People talk about the importance of listening. We have 2 ears and 1 mouth, right? You hear different things like that. Listening with the idea with your customers just to say, okay, when they're done with this, I'm going to say this. No. To understand them, you need to drill down, meaning ask additional questions. So go with the intention to serve. go with the idea of understanding them, as opposed to, I'm going to go there and trying to sell this thing to them. That thing may not be a fit if you don't go with the intention to serve and don't understand them. This is so important. Okay. So with my clients that I'm talking about, they were just reaching out, touching base, and doing the same old thing over and over and over again. We created a scorecard which changed all of their conversations. As I said, $480 to over $800,000 a month. And this is the process they went through. So if you have a customer base, and I'm going to circle around, if you're new in sale or new in business, how to implement this. And by the way, this is also for you who have established business, how to implement this when you onboard a new client. Very important. Okay. They would reach out to their clients and say, Bob, we're looking to improve our systems and processes. Can I get your help with something? Okay. Totally different than, hey, how are you doing today? I'm just touching base. Can I help you with anything? Okay. So do you understand the shift and the change that's going on there? Bob, this is blank with, their customer. They're reaching out to say ABC company and they're XYZ. John, this is Melvin with XYZ company. Can I get your help with something? I'm busy right now. This will only take 20 seconds. We're looking to improve our systems and processes, and we want to get your honest feedback. Now, this is really important. Honest feedback, not just the good. Hey, how are we serving you? You want to allow your customers to go deep. If there's a problem, even if it's small and minute, you want to be able to understand what that problem is. Your customers, your clients are the best source of information for you for improving your sales process, your selling system, and your marketing, because they're working with you. They can tell you the good. They can tell you the bad. They can tell you the ugly, and you want to know all of these. So back to the conversation that I'm role playing. Would you be opposed to having a 15-minute meeting? We created a scorecard to get your honest feedback on the good, bad, and the ugly. And we don't want you to hold back. If there's things that were missed out, we want to know. Would it be okay to schedule a meeting with you? 95% of the time, they're scheduling meetings. Before doing this, they would get things like, well, I'm real busy right now. Can you follow up in a month or so? And these are with their customers, with their clients. So now from below 40% scheduling meetings to over 90 to 95% scheduling meetings, that in of itself is a win. Give me a thumbs up if you're tracking with me. Okay. So they would schedule the meeting and they have the scorecard and they open up and say, we really appreciate your business. And thank you for blank, something in particular. They build rapport because rapport never stops. You should have a list of your clients' birthdays, family members, know these different things so you can build rapport, break the ice when you're kicking off a conversation. And so I'll pick on Jimmy out here. Jim. So as I said, this will only take 15 minutes. I want your honest feedback, good, bad, and ugly. And then they would start real high level, 30,000 foot overall on a scale of 1 to 5, 1 being terrible, 5 being surpassing your expectations. How would you rate us on how we have served you overall on a scale of 1 to 5? Now, remember, going with the intention to serve, understand them. And so they would respond back with, let's just say 4. Okay. Now, you don't just want to say 4. Oh, great. You want to understand why they are scoring you a 4. And again, your customers and your clients may be uncomfortable saying something that maybe happened even 3-6 months ago, but this allows them the freedom to do this. And I'll point out why this is so important and how, if there's a problem, how to deal with it. So say they said 4. 4. I'm curious, based on our service to you, is there something in particular that happened that caused you to score us a 4? And so they said, well, you guys have always been really good in following up. And when I had this incident, it was a problem. You guys were on it and you took care of us. Okay, great. I appreciate that. Now you're getting their psychology and their subconscious into play. And they are the ones, not just like, oh, yeah, you're good overall. There's some depth to how they are scoring you and why they are giving you that score. Do you understand this? By doing this, you are connecting with your clients in a deeper and more meaningful way. I can't drill this point home enough. Again, 200,000 to 3 million. And the clients I'm talking about right now, with how the process they went through, 480 to over $800,000 a month. Okay, 480 a month, 480,000, not $480 to over $800,000 a month. So, any reason why you didn't give us a 5? Well, we don't give anyone a perfect score. Or maybe they might say something else. So now they're telling you you've done doing a great job. They're happy with you. And by the way, when you schedule these meetings, you can use it as an opportunity to bring some additional decision makers into the conversation who you may not have talked with. Let me give you an example with a negative that I face personally. So let me hit home this point about bringing additional decision makers into the conversation. Because typically businesses, they're talking maybe 1 or 2 people in the company. And a lot of times they're not the decision maker or decision makers. They may be an influencer. Maybe they are if you've done your job correctly. So when they schedule the meeting and say, yeah, well, I'd be open to do that. How about Bob and Sally? I haven't talked to them for a while. Would it be okay to bring them into the conversation? Sure. And my clients, when they do this, 50% of the time, they're able to get additional decision makers. Now, you're not just talking to the one person, you're talking to additional people. And as you take them through this process, this person who you talk to often and the additional decision makers who may not even or may have forgotten about you, they're engaged in the conversation and they're realizing how good you've done. Or in this case, what I'm about to tell you is you're going to realize how bad you did. So I was going through this process. I got additional decision makers. I opened up the conversation and said, I'm looking to improve my systems and processes. Could you help me with something? Sure. We've created a scorecard. We want to get your honest feedback on the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so I scheduled a meeting. I said, oh, could I get these other 3 people, other decision makers into the conversation? And they said, sure. So there's the main person that I was talking to and 3 other decision makers who I talked to when I first onboarded this client a long time ago, based on when I had this conversation. And I was going through the process and I was asking them, so what's overall on a scale of 1 to 5? And one of the decision makers who I hadn't talked to a while, he goes, I'd give you a 2. And he said, it was more like 2. I'm like, my heart just sunk. I'm like, oh man. Understand, intention to serve. You want to have those difficult conversations. I was about to have that difficult conversation. So I said, okay, 2. Ouch. Why a 2? And he goes, I'll tell you exactly why. We have this job that was supposed to be complete by a certain date. You were supposed to have parts to us in our job site down in Central America, and they were late. We were getting fined, I can't remember what it was, thousands of dollars a day because of this $85 part wasn't there on time. And I'm like, oh my goodness. Okay, I apologize. Is it okay? And by the way, if I didn't have this is so powerful. If I did not have this meeting with them, they were going to get rid of us and we would not even have known why. But because we were proactive with the way we had the conversation with the scorecard, I was able to have the difficult conversation and unearth it before they got rid of us altogether. I said, let me go back to the leadership and find out exactly what happened. And would it be okay to circle back I understand you may not want to ever work with us again. The guy's like, yeah, you got that right. He actually used some more colorful language. Oh man, I'm living that conversation right now. So I went back to leadership and they said, oh my, I know what we did. And they found out a flaw in our process within our software. We upgraded it and changed it so that would never happen again. We had a meeting with our customers and we had additional decision makers in there. So we had like 6 or 7 of them. We had a lunch meeting and everything's always better with food, right? And we said, we apologize. And we had the president in the company, the VP, me. And we said, this is exactly what we did. We are so sorry for this. This is what we've changed to ensure this never happens to anyone again. And then we had an open discussion. You know what? When you admit, great book on the subject, Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. When you own your failure in humility with your clients and your customers, they make mistakes too. You will build a stronger bond with them. So check this out. 45 days later, there was about a month or so where they stopped doing business with us. 45 days later, they started sending additional business above and beyond what they did with us previously. Is that cool? Is that amazing? So negative, positive. It's about having deep, engaged, difficult conversations with your clients. So the company that went from $480 a month to over $800,000 a month using this process, just last week, they were typically scheduling like 2-3 meetings a week. Last week, they had one sales rep had 11 meetings, qualified meetings. The other sales rep had 9 meetings, and they had something like one had 12 job orders. The other one had 8 job orders, which was double, even triple what they were doing previously because they were building relationships with their clients. Now, here's the cool thing about this. There's many cool things about this. When you go through the process and getting back to a good score, you get to the end and you're drilling down. Okay, how about our communication? There should be a top 3 things that you're covering with them based on your company and your industry that's important for your clients. And so you're having them, okay, 1 to 5 overall. How about in communication on a 1 to 5? How about in whatever this area and this area? So with this, within 10 to 15 minutes, you're covering these areas and they're giving you a positive score, let's say. Then you circle back and say, I appreciate that. I appreciate your honest feedback. And they're telling you stories along the way. We're scoring you this because of blank. You're getting them in their mind to think about the why they're scoring you this. And now you are top of mind awareness. It isn't a survey you're sending out to your clients, which lacks human connection. You're connecting with them deeper and you're going below the surface. You're building a strong relationship. You're building clients, customers who become raving fans. Are you tracking with me? So you get to the end, they're giving you positive scores. And then you can ask this question. Is there anything that would prevent you from sending additional business our way? No. That's where the upsells and cross sells come from. Now check this out. With this one client that went from $480 to over $800,000 a month, they would get feedback. No, not at all. Do you have anything that's coming up? Well, I'll have to think about that. And they say, well, we know you have this location over here and this location in this department. Key, because your clients, your customers are busy. Their extension or their attention span is less than that of a goldfish, which is 7 seconds, I think, maybe 9. You need to get them to think outside the box because their mind is doing so many different things, even when you're meeting with them right then and there. So they say, well, I'm not sure. Now you use your intelligence based on information, based on your know-how of the business, and say, well, I know you have this department over here. Did you realize that we provide this as well? Oh, really? My client did this, and they picked up 3 opportunities just by asking an additional question in something that was different that they didn't realize they even provided. Do you understand? You're going deep, meaningful conversation. They're giving you feedback. They're open now to just having 2 people, one with a problem, one with a solution. Your customer has the problem, you have the solution, and you want to come together because you lower their walls and they're not afraid of being sold. You understand what I'm saying here? Are you catching what I'm throwing down? So with this one, they had 3 opportunities. I can't remember the amount. It was something like $20,000 to $40,000 additional just by asking additional couple questions. And also they would say, do you have anyone, or would you feel uncomfortable or be opposed to sending any referrals our way? They would start asking this question. Oh, not at all. And guess what? They would get a referral once every blue moon, if that. Now they're getting referrals, multiple referrals each and every month. How's that cool? Instead of this cold outreach, build the relationship with your clients where they trust you and want to send people your way. Also, by doing this, you also can get recommendations. You guys tracking with me? Okay, so let's circle back to onboarding a client and how you implement this from the get-go moving forward. So when you onboard a client, you spend all this time with marketing and sales and outreach. Now you got a client. This is what you do to ensure you establish a healthy, strong relationships where you're able to have the difficult conversations and you build this bond that is unshakable, that is unbreakable. So you onboard them and you say, Doug, based on our conversations from our first conversation, remember that 2 months ago, to you becoming our client today, I am so excited to help you and solve this problem and help you reach your goal. How would you score us just overall in the process we took you through up until now on a scale of 1 to 5? Okay, you're doing it then. And so it's not just, yay, win the client and then forget about them and try to get more clients. You start at the time that they onboard and they put trust in you. They gave you signed the contract. They sent you the money, whatever it is, the purchase order, whatever that is. Now you're getting feedback. This will help you improve with all of your communications moving forward. And what my clients do is they onboard them and they say, yeah, 4. If it's 4, if there's some, they wouldn't be giving you negative scores if they became your client, right? So they ask them, how would you score us just on the process? We're always looking to improve our systems and processes to better serve you and all of our clients. I'd give you this. Why? Is there anything, let's say they gave you a 4.5. Why not a 5? A lot of times people say, well, I don't give anyone a perfect score. But if there's a negative, you could even ask them, is there something that made you think, I didn't really like what he said here or how we went through this process? Ask them. Say, it's okay to give me some negatives because we want to serve you. Intention, understanding. When you go with the intention to serve, you're not afraid of getting bad information because that helps you get better and serve all of your clients at the next level. It helps you take your business from here to here. And with that REAP stat, that businesses, 75% of businesses miss out on increasing sales 40 to 90%, because they don't have a formalized process that's proven to connect with their clients on a deeper level. Are you tracking? Are you tracking with me? Then they say, well, here's some improvements here. This is some improvements. Say, great. I appreciate that. Don't just like take the information, but go back to your leadership team and say, here's what I'm hearing. What do you guys think about this? This is going to take your business from meeting needs to exceeding expectations, because you constantly have data, good data from your clients that you can apply to your business to always improve. And it's a competitive marketplace right now. This will help you stand apart, because I guarantee you your competition isn't doing this. And my clients that implement this, they're head and shoulders above their competition. They have that strong relationship with their clients. They get referrals. And then even at the onboarding place with asking these questions to give feedback, they say, would you have any hesitation with referring business our way? No, not at all. They're excited. They're starting. It's a great time to get referrals and understand how to improve the process. So you do this when they onboard. Then you say this, Velveeta. I don't know why I picked. Don't worry, this is no cheesy pseudonym. Velveeta. You onboard them. You take them through the process I just described, and you're asked about would you be opposed to sending referrals our way? No, not at all. Anybody who comes to mind right now? You get referrals, or at least you put the seed in their mind. And then this is the next level. What I'm going to do moving forward, and you could actually use this in the sales process, it's very important. Say, this is how, when we onboard you, this is how we track to see how you're doing and how you're making progress. So back to Velveeta, after you went through the process and you're asking for referrals, say, moving forward, if it's okay with you, I'd like to have a scorecard meeting to review your progress, good, bad, ugly. If there's something that you're not liking, we want you to communicate with us openly. Do you understand how that cements the decision that they just made by investing in you to let them know we're going to meet monthly or every 6 weeks? My clients typically, depending upon the size client, a monthly, every 6 weeks, 2 months, and some of the clients, they do this every 3 months. By doing this, you're going to build deeper, more meaningful relationships with your clients. It will lead to upsells. It will lead to referrals. It will lead to recommendations. And you'll be able to grow your business. You'll enjoy the process because you will have those relationships that are meaningful in business. And that's the game changer. So in review, go with the intention to serve, not sell. Go to understand them. Stephen Covey said it best. Seek first to understand and then be understood. So not just listening, but listening to understand. Drill down so you get the core basic grasp of why they're saying what they're saying. Again, this is going back to understanding. And after you intention to understanding, then you should have uncovered the problem, how good you're doing. And by doing this, you will take your business to the next level. My clients that do this, typically they're doubling sales within 12 months. By the way, chazhorn@chazhorn.com. That's my email. I have a book on creating a winning sales culture. It's coming out early April. A winning sales culture that doubles sales. And the subtitle is 7 Fatal Leadership Flaws That Restrict Growth. If you want that book, send me an email, chazhorn@chazhorn.com. Sound good? All right. So awesome to have you here. And I do these events every Thursday at 11:30, and I cover sales, marketing. I did a biohacking one a couple weeks ago that really had a lot of good feedback. Thanks for joining me. Remember, go with the intention to serve, not sell, and you will attract and not repel. Go to understand and use the score. Oh, if you want a copy of the scorecard, the template, send me, share this event. I'll get a notification and I'll share this with you. Do this and you'll build the strong relationships with your clients that will be unbreakable. They'll refer business to you. And you'll enjoy the process. And most importantly, they will too. All right.